Welcome, everybody, to our January Masterclass. This is where we go live every month and share with you exactly what's working in the world of chiropractic today. This month's topic is a big one because it's all about you hitting your numbers when it comes to marketing. And because I've been able to be both in your seat, coming to the table using marketing agencies, and building a data analytics system around actual marketing and being able to hold agencies accountable. And now, having launched our own marketing agency, this has been an amazing journey, understanding the data behind it. And so, what I want to share with you today is exactly from a chiropractic office, working from your own most important role, which is to deploy capital. Where do you deploy that capital in the business? How do you break free from the business running you and change it to you running the business? That is what this is all about. It's really helping you guys understand that. I want to welcome those who are joining the Zoom live. I want to welcome everybody out in the Facebook world as we're streaming live to Facebook and Instagram. We're so excited to have you guys here. Today's going to be a big day. We are jam-packed. So I hope you have your pens, your paper, some sort of digital note out ready to do this because we are going to really give you actionable steps. There's also a workbook, so I want to make sure you guys have that workbook. But in this process, as we go through the understanding of the growth that comes from a practice, there's 5 stages of growth within your practice. And marketing is different from every single one of them. Do you remember when you first opened up your practice, you had more time than money? And so, like you, I went out and I did a ton of spinal screenings. I tried to set up workshops. I tried to set up all sorts of opportunities to go out and generate new patients. If that sounds familiar and you're live with me, would you please give me a thumbs up? Did you do that? I even have members who went around and knocked doors and did the door hanger on their neighborhood's doorknobs just to get the word out, right? You're trying to become known. The next phase is what we call the operator phase. And the operator phase is now when you have some momentum, you're starting to move forward in the business. You do have a little bit of traction. You probably have a team or a team member supporting you. And now you have a little bit of money that you can start investing in some paid ads. You can start investing in some outside marketing. And that is really the phase that I'm going to focus on with you today because there's actually 3 phases past that. And so, one of my favorite topics to teach in the world of marketing is shifting from marketing provider to marketing protocol process, getting patients coming into your practice to want your patient outcomes, not just, oh, I want to see Dr. Wes or I want to see Dr. Frogley, right? That's a very personality driven practice. And as we all now know in this world, that if you build a practice on that, it's very hard to bring in associate doctors and it's very hard to get patients to switch over to other providers other than you because they want your magic hands, right? You've been there, done that. So here we are already 3 weeks into this year. And put in the chat for me, how many of you really sat down and planned out your at least first quarter marketing calendar? Just drop in the chat me if you did that. I would love to just know how many of you really are intentional about your marketing, or if you're coming to this masterclass, maybe a little bit like, well, I know I need to do that, but I haven't yet. And I'm hoping this masterclass helps me plan that. Are you a 1 or are you a 2? Put that in the chat for me. A 1 would be, I have it pretty well mapped out. A 2 is I'm hoping this masterclass gives me some structure to follow. Which one are you? Drop that in the chat. I'd love to see that. If you're watching this in Facebook world, please just drop that in the comments, a 1 or a 2. It helps me know kind of how to direct this. And I see some 2s coming in, a couple 1s. but mostly twos. So that's awesome. You are in the right place because we are going to help you map this out. I get asked all the time, how do I know how much I should be spending on my marketing? What is a proper marketing budget for practice? And again, I'm going to reveal that to you, and it might even shock some of you guys a little bit on what those numbers look like. So, in this journey that we're going to go through, we're going to there's a workbook. Some of you are asking, how do I get that workbook? You can actually just scan this QR code, and it will take you directly to the workbook. So scan that real quick. I'll leave that up for just a second. That way you can scan it and jump right into the workbook because there's so much information in the workbook. I only have 45 minutes. I'm not going to be able to cover everything in the workbook. And so we actually over deliver for you. We put more in the workbook than I actually cover in this masterclass because um, I just don't have enough time to cover it here on this masterclass. We're going to be going through these phases, right? Why you need a marketing data dashboard. Are you in a position to really invest in paid ads? And if so, what does that look like? What is retargeting and how do we decrease our new patient acquisition cost by retargeting? How do we reduce our overall new patient acquisition cost by building a preferred provider network? How do we drive reactivation not only through phone calls or emails or texts, but actually through your ads? Do you know how many new patients come or existing patients can come back into your practice by actually seeing your ads? I'm going to demonstrate for you what an AI caller looks like because in this world of modern technology, I'm going to show you how powerful of the bots that we've built that are literally scheduling AI agent or AI agents are scheduling appointments today. It's absolutely incredible. And I want you guys to see it because if you're not leveraging this technology in your practice today, you're literally missing out on uh, tens of thousands of dollars, guys. I mean, literally. How many of you, drop this in the chat for me or put this in the comment, how many of you are using an AI agent today for either your inbound phone calls coming in or your outbound marketing lead follow? Will you just drop that in the chat? Give me a thumbs up if you are already using that technology today, or drop in a two if you're interested in implementing that technology today. Drop that in for me just so I know where you guys are at. I am. As you're dropping that in the chat, I'm just sending a message to my team. And then as we walk you guys through this, and again, there's that link to download the workbook, get that done. And for some of you on this call, this might be the first time you're ever meeting me, right? I'm Dr. Cory Frogley. I am so grateful to be here. I'm the one of the founders and board of directors for Blue IQ, which is the number one data analytic platform used in the chiropractic profession. I also am the founder of the Data Driven Practice with my beautiful wife, who runs our agency services. I am the founder of the Driven Doc movement. If you haven't heard of that, you'll hear a little bit more about that. And then we have now launched Prime Practice, a full cloud-based EHR that has the most amazing integration with Blue IQ for all of your data. But this is now an all-in-one platform for all of your patient forms, all of your patient engagement with email, SMS, marketing, um, online payments. It's incredible with AI tools built into it to help you grow. You see, I work with doctors that we call driven docs, hence the t-shirt on today, right? Driven docs are those who really want to grow. So if you're on this call and you really want to build a rock solid growth strategy in your marketing, you're in the right place because that's all we talk about here with the data-driven practice is how to grow. And our doctors typically come into our world somewhere between $30,000 and $50,000 collection months, and we accelerate them to $80,000 to $150,000 collection months and beyond. This is what we do. And why we do it is our mission is because I want to increase the utilization of chiropractic across the globe. That is my goal. I want our doctors to be the lead in the fight against chronic disease, which, as you guys know, our current health system has absolutely led the charge on that. It's frightening. So that's my moonshot. I'm curious how many of you align with me on that moonshot. How many of you, through utilizing AI and growth tools, automations, and technology, how many of you would like to are aligned with that same moonshot? Will you just drop that in the comment? I am. Will you just type I am if you would like to, or if you align with me to move our utilization of chiropractic care from 12% and get it up to 30%. That means that we could help reduce the utilization of drugs and overuse of surgery. That means that we could help clearing up a lot of the chronic disease that's out there, and we could change the world. Wes, congratulations, man. I'm glad you're here. And those of you also, I see IMs coming in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That means that we're here together. This is all about the chiro marketing trends, you guys. This is about the popularity of AI and how should you even get started with it, online scheduling, speed to lead, two-way text messaging to be able to communicate with patients, AI lead follow-up, social media shift from interest to content marketing, video ads and authentic video creation. These are all the things that we do. Does it work? You better believe it. This is Dr. Zach, who, without lifting a finger, the Prime Marketing Agency was able to generate 21 neuropathy leads for $17 per lead in just 60 days. Dr. Amelia, we generated 35 decompression patients for her in 60 days. And again, didn't have to lift a finger. Absolutely crushed it, doubled her collections, life-changing results. So number one, guys, it starts with this concept of setting clear goals. Where do you want to be at the end of 2026? Brian Tracy says success is goals. All else is just commentary. Because without goals, what we establish as KPIs, key performance indicators, then we don't really have a destination that the strategy is taking us to. Strategy without destination is just commentary, as Brian Tracy says. So we have to understand why it is important to have a data dashboard. I can talk to you all day about the coolest AI tools to build videos, the coolest AI tools to build these bots to speed the lead and AI agency. But if we don't have a destination, if we don't have the data to measure the ROI, then we're not really going as fast as we could be. I compare it to flying a plane. My son, who's only 16 years old, has been taken up by a pilot in our neighborhood who is a professional pilot. He was in the military. He worked for the airlines for years. He has his own plane. My son came home after one of his flights and told me, Dad, I flew to Oregon and back. I flew the plane. Now, this is a kid that has had no flight training, which basically the concept is anybody can fly a plane when it's beautiful out. But what happens when the sun goes down? What happens when it gets dark? What happens when the clouds come in? What happens when the storms show up? That's what it's like when you walk into your practice and you ask your front desk team, how many new patients do we have in the books for this week? And her response is, we don't have any. That's what I'm talking about, the storm showing up. You see, anybody can fly the plane in beautiful daylight, but you need a data dashboard to fly the practice when there's turbulence and turmoil. So understanding what we call a current practice snapshot. Share with me in the chat if you're tracking this, your average monthly revenue, your average number of starts per month, your average case value, your average start rate, your average collections per visit, and your average number of scheduled visits across the practice. How many of you are actually tracking that? Because that's a quick snapshot. If you show me those numbers, I can tell you if this is a healthy practice and if it's not, exactly what process they need to put into place. And it's critical to know these things because these are the foundational, the metrics. I see some of you are tracking some of these. These are just the basics, okay? That's a snapshot. So when we understand your 2026 goals, you've got to establish your annual collection target. How many new patients is it going to take to hit that target? You see, there's a direct correlation there between what are the collection goals and all the way upstream to what's the volume of new patients that we need for that. Now, you see, when we build your targets, when we're measuring data, the purpose of it, the driving force behind it, is so that we actually can see, do we have a proper message market match? What we call our IPP, our ideal patient persona. If we're going to build any type of marketing, whether this is social media content, whether this is paid ads, we've got to nail who is the audience that we are speaking to. Because if you're speaking in general terms of chiropractic, think about it. I want you to drop in the chat for me. How many conditions does chiropractic help? Put it in the chat. I would love to see this number. How many conditions does chiropractic care help? Can you put a number to that? Because like you, I saw chiropractic miracles every day in my practice. I saw people come in with back pain that couldn't walk, and after the chiropractic adjustment, they were able to walk out with no pain. I saw patients come in with blinding headaches, leave with no pain. I saw patients with scoliosis come in and go through care plans, and their scoliosis improve. I saw patients with everything from TMJ disorders to gut disorders to colic with babies, right? The list goes on and on and on. However, if you're going to market that way, what we say, speaking to everyone, you end up speaking to no one. So you have to understand this concept of message market match. There's a system behind it, a literal system that we at the Data Driven Practice help you build. And the goal, a goal without those systems is only wishes. It's more important that we build the system than just set the goal. So with the Data Driven Practice, with Blue IQ, with Prime Practice, we can now build automated systems. And with those systems, we can drive this incredible growth tool. Dr. Steve is doing it. He went from $25,000 collection months and is now at $70,000 collection months. Dr. Michael did it. He came in from $50,000 collection months and hit his growth record of $123,000 months in 3 months. Come on now. Number two, the marketing strategy. We talk about what is called the accelerated growth model, which is we got to drive leads. And if your practice is not using paid advertising, then you're not getting very many leads. Now, the quality of your leads is probably extraordinary, right? Patient referrals drive extraordinary patient results. So you might not get very many, but they're converting, right, to new patient appointments. Well, that doesn't happen with Facebook ads. We get a lot of leads, and not very many of those convert to started care plans. But it's a game, and it's a game of how many leads can we generate? How do we then focus on maximizing conversion? How do you get extraordinarily good at optimizing results? And then with those patients, generate more reviews and more referrals. without a volume of new people coming in the practice or leads, right? People becoming aware of who you are. Who are you, doc? What is your identity? You need 5, 10, 20 new people a day becoming aware of who you are and the results that you're getting. Now, not all of that has to come through paid ads, right? We actually look at optimizing data dashboards through paid ads, patient referrals, preferred provider networks, doing events like this online, social media. But imagine if you had an AI caller that could call during and after hours, communicating with those leads to qualify them, screen them, and not even have to take a minute from your in-office team. Could you imagine what that would do for your practice? Well, when your team begins to understand, and this is one of your CEO metrics, docs, this is a metric you need to know. In fact, drop it in the chat if you know this metric, right? Do you know your new patient acquisition cost? Because there's a difference between new patient acquisition cost per lead channel. It's different for paid ads than it is for referrals, and it's very different for preferred provider network, and it's different from your website or SEO or social media. So this is an opportunity to understand your average new patient cost across your lead funnels. So we build a data dashboard for this. In that data dashboard, if we target these paid ads, we can actually watch conversion metrics. Now, I want to show you this, and I'm actually going to stop sharing my screen for just a second because I'm going to switch over to a real Blue IQ account. I was going to show you this, just some slides, but I want you to see the real deal. This is the real deal. This is one of our current clients and their January dashboard. Okay, using Prime Marketing. Okay, this is our paid ads agency. I don't care what agency you're using. This is the kind of dashboard you need to hold them accountable. The reason why this is important is because I can actually work with this doc. Our team can work with them and understanding where are the resistant points? Where do we need to improve? So you can see here in this first metric right here, leads. This is just for spine and disc ROI. 101 leads this month has been generated. So you can see those leads coming into the practice. At a CPL, a cost per lead at $29.70. And there is very specific math that has to work. A driven doc knows the math. You need to know your ad spend. You need to know your lead acquisition cost. That leads to your new patient acquisition cost. And they're not the same, right? A lead acquisition cost is very different than your new patient acquisition cost, right? But out of those 101 leads, 35 scheduled screenings. We do not schedule them as new patient exams. I do not want you spending an hour with these patients. Your time is too precious and valuable. So in this case, you can see this practice is regularly screening patients. Out of those 35 scheduled, 22 showed up. Now, if you see a 62% conversion rate, if you've ever run paid ads or worked with most agencies, you will know that this is impressive because most agencies are delivering about a 30% show rate. A 30% show rate. I'm going to repeat that, a 30% show rate. So that's why this is so powerful when you use AI tools and our live call team to actually screen those patients, getting a 63% show rate. That leads to 12 full paid, right? Not free, paid examinations. 10 of those have been completed at an 83% show rate. Now that will improve, right, throughout the month as those other two come in. And we can see a 54% conversion from the screenings to the new patient exams. That means that we were able to weed out the patients, the screenings that were patients that wanted your results, but were not good candidates. Can you drop for me in the chat, what would disqualify a patient from being a good candidate to convert over to your day one? So these are patients that you screened what would keep them from being a good candidate to actually move to your day one? Can you put in the chat for me, or if you're watching this live on Facebook, drop it in the comments. What is something that would keep a new patient from being qualified? Yeah, good. You're exactly right. They can't afford your services. This is an opportunity to identify if they have it, or they aren't taking their health seriously enough. They're not ready to invest the time in order to step into a care plan with you. That's exactly right. Great job. So, when you look at this, then, out of those five completed exams so far this month, three of them have started care plans. Now, this is what will blow your mind, you guys. Look at this. This practice, their average care plan is $11,771. Why? Why is it so much to come in to see this practice? Well, let me share with you a behind the scenes secret. This is a $2 million practice, $2 million plus practice. Are they over treating? Why would they need almost $12,000 worth of care to reverse their disc herniation? Well, here's the secret. It's because they're attracting complex cases. They're not just getting patients with a little low back pain or a little facet syndrome. They're getting extremely complex cases and using multi-approach process in their care plan, from chiropractic to spinal decompression to laser to soft wave to foot orthotics to physical therapy, right? They have a not, for complex cases, they've paired it with a, a system of treating that can handle the complexity of these cases. So they don't have to refer out a lot of these cases. They're able to handle them. Now, check out these numbers because this is amazing. So their new patient acquisition cost through paid ads is $300. Now, that's not their average new patient acquisition cost, meaning across all of their lead channels. In their case, it's $300 for paid ads. But they've had an ROI already of almost $20,000 in collections. That's 1,000% ROI, you guys. That's a 10-to-1 ratio. So let me ask you this. If you had a cash machine and every time you put a dollar into it, it spit out a $10 bill, put in the chat how many dollars you would put into that cash machine. Put in the chat for me. If you had a cash machine and you put in a dollar, and every time you put in a dollar, it spit out $10. How many dollars do you put into the cash machine? This is not a trick question. I want to know if you understand the laws of money. That's right. Some of you are getting it. The answer is all of your dollars. Because every time you put a dollar in, you get $10 back, right? All of your money, all of your dollars. Well, there is a limiting factor here. And the limiting factor is the speed at which you can screen them, filter out the unqualified, and close the qualified. I'm going to repeat that, and this is a writer downer. The speed, the limiting factor to your growth, docs, is the speed at which you can screen out the unqualified and close the qualified. That is the speed at which you are going to grow right now with a proper marketing agency. Now, I'm going to give you a metric almost nobody in this industry is tracking. And this is what we call our new patient percent acquisition ratio. This is a critical metric, you guys, and one of the metrics that we analyze when you work with us. And that is, what is your average case value ratio compared to your new patient acquisition cost? Now, many of you don't know this number because you're not tracking it, so I'm going to tell you what healthy is. We want to see that at 5%, around 5%. Now, we could even go up to 10% for paid ads. But across your entire organization and all of your lead funnels, we want to see that at 5% or below. So if a paid marketing working with your agency, if it was a 10% ratio, I would actually be okay with that. I would continue to use that agency. Look at this, 2.55. That is incredible, you guys, and the kind of agency that you want to work with. So these are the type of metrics that we teach at the Data-Driven Practice. We teach you how to scale. We teach you how to grow your business, because just knowing your numbers isn't enough to grow your numbers. You have to know your numbers and understand who you need to be with to truly understand how you're going to, sorry, I'm sharing the wrong screen here. Let me get over to the right screen. I've got too many screens opened up now. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to jump over now to an unbelievable opportunity for you. I'm going to show you exactly what this what an AI caller will do for you. So what this means is these leads are coming in, right? You're working with your agency. You've identified your ideal patient persona. Your agency should be able to build amazing ads that are reducing your cost per lead to a healthy ratio. Okay, the math has to work. So you have to get those leads at a certain acquisition cost. So I'm going to show you now exactly what that looks like when the lead comes in and what a proper follow-up system sounds like. Now, I got to switch over my microphone so that you guys can hear this, because this is literally our system that we've built in order for a practice. And I'm realizing that this one might not work for low back. I realized that I didn't delete myself out of this. I can't call the same one twice, and I think I called this. So give me just 2 seconds to. Actually, Gabe, are you on here? Gabe, will you go into Premier Wellness's Go High Level account and delete Cory Test out of there? I need to reactivate it, and it won't activate if I'm still in their contacts. So go into their contacts, delete. It's under the .Cory at the Data Driven Practice email. It's Cory Test. If you'll get rid of that real quick and then let me know when it's done, then I can activate this and we can do the demo for these guys on the AI caller. Because again, I don't care what agency you're working with, guys. Whether you're working with us or working with another agency, these are the tools that are available for you out there. I just think ours is the best because we have the data. We've been feeding these AI callers the data. And so I'm going to give you an opportunity to hear this. This is what we've built at the Data-Driven Practice for you guys and the Prime Marketing Agency. It is so fun for you guys to be able to see this. So we're going to go in. We screen patients out who are on disability or Medicaid, so they don't end up coming into your practice. And let's see if this is working now.
Your contact is 9. Here, ma'am.
Here we go. Hello?
This is Jessica with Premier Wellness Centers. I'll be quick. This is about the free disc screening you requested. As I was saying, how have you been doing?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Wonderful. I'm glad to hear that. I'll be quick. I saw that you requested our free back pain consultation on Facebook, so I wanted to follow up with you personally. How long have you been suffering from back, neck, or disc pain?
Oh man, it's been on and off for about 3 years.
Thank you for sharing that with me. Living with pain for about 3 years can be exhausting, and it makes sense that you are looking for real relief. The good news is there are natural ways that may help your discs heal, and my role is to see whether this consultation could be a good next step for you. On a scale from 1 to 10, how would you rate your pain when it's at its worst?
Oh, it can get to about an 8.
that, I can tell that's been challenging, suffering at a scale of about an 8. Symptoms at that level can really make you feel trapped in pain and affect almost everything you do. If your pain could be reversed and your symptoms could go away, what is the number one thing you would look forward to doing again?
Oh, I'd love to golf again.
Oh, wow. So being able to golf again would make a big difference in your quality of life. I'm glad you shared that with me. There are non-drug options that help the discs heal, and my role is to see if you qualify for this free disc screening. It just takes a minute. First, are you currently on disability or Medicaid?
No, neither one.
Got it, thank you. That helps me understand your situation better. Our office is in Port St. Lucie, Florida. Is that a reasonable commute for you?
Yeah, that's where I live.
Great. Thank you for letting me know. We may be able to help. What have you tried so far to manage your symptoms?
I have gotten some medication from my medical doctor for like Flexeril, but I hate it because it makes me really tired. I've tried some physical therapy. I tried to strengthen my core. I even got a chiropractic adjustment, but nothing is really getting to the root cause. It just keeps coming back.
I hear you. So you've tried Flexeril from your medical doctor, which makes you tired, and you've also done physical therapy, core strengthening, and even chiropractic adjustments, and the pain still keeps coming back. Thank you for sharing that. That sounds really difficult, especially when nothing seems to get to the real root of the problem. Have you ever had a disc severity screening before?
No.
Got it. Thank you for letting me know. If we can help and you are accepted as a patient, are you ready and able to invest in your health and do what it is needed to get better?
Yeah, I mean, if something was actually working and somebody could show me why it keeps coming back and I was healing, I'd be all in.
Wonderful. What is motivating you to take action now? What makes this the right moment for you to look into relief?
Yeah, I mean, I saw your ad and it just caught my eye, and I want to get back golfing again. I want my life back.
Thank you for sharing that. Wanting your life back, and especially wanting to get back to golfing, is a powerful reason to take action. I'm really glad you reached out. Our commitment to you is not to waste your time or your money. That's why we start with a disc severity assessment valued at $400, which we provide at no cost. This screening analyzes the most important indicators in your back and neck to determine whether your disc pain can be reversed. Are you ready to look at the calendar and get that scheduled?
Yeah, do you guys accept my insurance?
Great question. We review exactly how your benefits apply at the visit before anything starts, so there are no surprises. To make sure this is the right fit, would it be all right if I ask a few more questions about your situation?
Yeah.
I'm going to look at the schedule options for you now. Excellent. I have the calendar open right now. Do mornings or afternoons generally work?
And I'm going to pause it there, but it will go on to schedule me and actually book a real appointment with a real provider. I mean, it's absolutely insane, you guys, for that ability to build that. And I want you to put in the chat for me, just if that was your employee and you were training them, right? You're role playing with them to be able to handle your new patient leads. Give me a rating on a scale of 1 to 10. How would you rate that caller? If that was your employee, right? You're not rating an AI caller. I want you to rate a real life human being. If that was a real life human being doing that call, drop in the chat for me on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest. Where would you give that rating if that was your employee handling that new lead coming in from a Facebook ad? Drop it in the chat for me. I'd love to see. Oh, they're coming in. 8, 8.5, 9. Yeah, that's impressive, you guys, right? And the cool thing about, again, this masterclass is showing you what's working in chiropractic today. And one of the things that, again, I have analyzed the data of over 2,000 practices. I've helped hundreds of practices break 7 figures. And it's because of what we call these playbooks that we have created in the DDP, or with what I've created is the driven operating system. The driven operating system is the steps or the playbooks a practice uses and runs on a daily, weekly, monthly, and quarterly process. So this is a playbook. We track when it was last updated, who is it for, who's responsible for the metrics, right? Who created it? How often should they run it? How much time does it take? What are the tools needed to run the playbook, right? So in here, we walk a practice, and the reason why I believe our agency is as successful as it is because we don't just stop at delivering you a lead. We help the practice understand how to receive the scheduled lead. So our team is screening them, right? Whether it's the live team or the AI team, we're screening them and then scheduling them, getting them to show up into your practice. And then how does your team follow through with them? Now, the beautiful thing about Prime Practice is we've created the ability now for online scheduling. We have the ability to go into the back office here with Prime Practice and actually go to settings and create intake forms. In those intake forms, one of the intake forms that we teach you is actually a screening form. So it's not a full patient intake. It's a quick screening form where they're doing a severity assessment. We walk you through step by step of how to do that severity assessment. And when you have the severity assessment done properly, it generates ROI. So again, 35 scheduled severity assessments, or what we call day zeros. How many of those are we completing? How many of those are we then screening through to a complete day one? And how many of those make it to an ROF and are getting to the point where they're now able to generate a start? Playbooks, technology, these are the kind of things that you can have with a proper growth partner. While agencies are out there charging $3,000 a month, $4,000 a month, $5,000 a month just for their AI technology or to generate leads for you, a lot of them are charging $1,000 for a call team. This is the kind of stuff that it doesn't make sense without tracking the data. You have to have the ability to say, what kind of ROI am I generating that allows me to actually continue to put dollars in the cash machine? So I've created for you the ultimate internet marketing checklist. It's inside the workbook, and you can go through here and you can do a checklist now of identifying exactly why you might be successful or you may not be. It's going to assess your data tracking. It's going to assess your paid ads and online marketing. It's going to assess what we call your preferred provider network. These are key things that if you will get into place, you will see results of hitting your targets in 2026, right? It's not just setting goals, it's setting goals with a purpose. It's not just setting goals with a purpose, it's setting goals with purpose and systems. That's what I have become passionate about, is building you the systems in your practice for scale. We are the #1 growth partner in chiropractic to scale. If you are ready to be untrapped and unburdened by your practice, these are the kind of services and technology that you need to implement into your practice. We don't do it all at once. We do it step by step. We don't want it to be overwhelming. We allow you to scale your practice from where you're currently at to the next stage of growth within your practice. The DDP, agency services, systems, scale, and coaching. Prime Practice, a now full EHR with online forms, scheduling, communication, automated billing, automated payments, you name it, with AI-driven growth tools. Blue IQ, the #1 data analytic platform in our industry. This is data analytics that holds your team accountable, changing your culture from a very time-based culture to a performance-based culture. That is what we offer, and when it works, it works. These are just two beautiful examples. Dr. Omar and his beautiful wife Jasmine joined the DDP and scaled to a $2.5 million a year practice. Were able to build a brand new location, own their own building, bought their own boat. They're living the dream. Dr. Carl joined me at $62,000 months. And look at this, they doubled. I was able to stand on stage with both of these doctors and award them their 7-figure awards. Why does that matter? Well, a 7-figure award is an acknowledgement. It's a celebration of you and your team learning how to implement. It's not just enough to know the strategy. You need somebody to hold you accountable to the strategy. And that's what we do here at the Data Driven Practice. I've got an offer for you. It'd be a shame to share with you all of this incredible technology and process and systems and not let you know how to access it. You can scan this code and actually get my 3 free courses to scaling a practice, on marketing, on moving your team from a time-based culture to a performance-based culture. You're welcome to all of those free classes. They're worth thousands and thousands of dollars. They have more value than most coaching programs have in their paid programs, and I'm giving them to you for free. But there's another opportunity, and the other opportunity is to simply DM me details. Just go into the Facebook Messenger, look me up, Cory Frogley. I'm easy to find. I'm the only Cory Frogley out there. It's not what's nice about having a unique name, right? I got teased a lot growing up with the name Frogley, but hey, now you can find me. Just simply drop in details, the word details, and I'll engage with you in a conversation about how you could actually get this incredible opportunity. And we have a special new year, new marketing strategy opportunity. If you sign up for using our agency services, we will actually build you the AI collar for free. It's a $3,000 value. We'll build it for free for you. I did not stutter. I hope you heard that correctly. This is too good to be true, guys. You're saving $3,000 if you sign up for our Prime Marketing Agency services. We will help you build the exact strategy to drive the growth of your practice so that you guys can now, once and for all, have the practice of your dreams. DM me details. I look forward to engaging with you on a conversation about your growth. I look forward to walking you from $30,000 to $50,000 collection months to $80,000 to $120,000 collection months. We have the social proof. It works. We are the #1 growth partner in chiropractic. Thank you for jumping in today. Enjoy the workbook. Enjoy all the free tools in the workbook. And again, stay driven and be back next month for our next masterclass on what's working in chiropractic today. I'll see you then. Have an amazing day. Stay driven.